Good morning. I'm sitting on my new porch, my new entrance to the yurt, and it's been quite a saga to get my front steps and entryway covered, so I thought I would share that with you. Today is one of those days where everything feels really hard. I think that the most important thing for me to do today is to try to do a DIY fix on door cover for the yurt. I already tried to do that multiple times. I took one of my best tarps and I placed it over the door and then weighed it down, but the water's just been going under the tarp. I have this like PVC thing that my neighbor gave me that Jai was supposed to use to help me build like a walkway cover, but seems to be like MIA because he's really busy on that. So I'm like, I don't know if I should use that. The problem is that there's like nothing to attach it to because the yurt is just like a sloped, roof. And the problem is it's not leaking anywhere except for the door because basically there's extra platform, like a couple inches of extra platform in front of the door. So the water is collecting there and then sliding backward into the door and then going under the door into the yurt. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not trying to have there be more water damage happening around the door. I'm worried that the bottom of the door is going to start rotting. I do want to buy a new door from the company, Sometime Yurts. I bought this yurt, it's a used yurt, but that's who made the yurt, but they respond to me on Instagram, but won't respond to my emails trying to talk about ordering like pieces for the yurt. Yeah, I need to get some stuff done. This is the best situation I've left it with so far. There's still like some gapping at the top of this outer tarp because it's being pulled by two corners over the top. So water could definitely get through there. I tried to weigh it down to help prevent that a little bit. It does start a lot higher up on the yurt than the last time I did that. And then I have the inner layer tucked under that should wick the water away. The problem is just that the water is collecting on the part of the platform that sticks out and then rolling back into the yurt. So I have two measures, try to keep that in place. My car is packed full of shit and Romeo has a new jacket. Carhartt jacket, it's so cute. Well, welcome to the Pacific Northwest. It is raining. It's been raining. I am sitting in the back of my car. This is like the only cover that I have right now. I showed you the footage of me trying to temporarily double tarp the entrance to the yurt so I could leave for the weekend. One tarp on the outside did not work. The two tarp method worked better, especially because I put towels on the inside and the outside of the door. The towels got wet, especially the outside one, but the inside one a little bit, but at least it didn't flood past that. But it's still not good because it's definitely doing water damage to the bottom of the yurt door and just a lot of the bottom of that, whole area. So yeah, I took the 2 days off of work that I was supposed to do so that I could address this because the main reason why I haven't built a cover or a cover for the yurt entryway yet is just because I've been working too much and I haven't had time to either go to the store and get supplies or to actually build it. So I'm not building this out of wood. Pretty much all the covers I've seen for the steps of yurts are like a nice little wooden cover. That would be great, but I'm gonna move my yurt in the spring, so there's no point in investing in the wood or building anything that permanent. So I'm building mine out of T-posts and PVC. I'm gonna try to get the posts in, and then my friend is gonna use his heat gun to form the PVC. He did tell me to get 20-foot pieces, and they only had 10, and it definitely might not be long enough. So I might end up having to go back to the store, but I didn't want to buy a bunch of crap that I didn't need at the home crapo, as my dad likes to say. So yeah, I'm gonna try to put the T-posts in, 3 on each side, and square them up so that the foundation is ready for my friend to come help me put the PVC in, and then we're gonna do a tarp over the PVC connecting up to the yurt, and I got some treated 2x4s to reinforce the inside of like the hoop that it's gonna make. So Let's get into it. I'm switching to using the back of my axe because the rubber mallet is not very effective. That wasn't working either. I'm gonna try the back of my log splitter axe. Well, that wasn't working either. I went and borrowed the proper tool for this. I did geometry a very long time ago. Wow, there's conveniently a light in the back of my car. I'm losing light very quickly. My brain is not working. Okay, the string method worked really well. I put markers out at 6 feet at about what looks parallel to me, and then I calculated that the cross section, the diagonal between the corners, should be 129 and 79 inches. 129.79 inches. So I'm gonna recalibrate my little paracord to measure that out, and hopefully this will be done in a snap. I am in the yurt. I've been in here for a hot minute. I just needed to decompress and also get the temperature up in here. Yeah, today kind of feels like a fail. I know it's not a fail because whenever I'm doing something new, a new process, there's going to be trial and error. If you don't get through the trial and the error, you're not going to get through the other side. So I know it really wasn't a fail, but basically, the string square method I was trying to do for the T-posts outside didn't work. It very clearly gets like wider on both sides, even though I was following the method. And I think that it's because one side of the steps is higher than the other. The yurt is built on a slope, and Jai, who lives on the property and built the platform, did a really good job of using like this whole leveler thing to make it level. But I, wasn't using that. I'm gonna have to take all those posts out. Jai told me to get the 2-inch PVC, electrical PVC, and I was able to fit, when I was in Home Depot, the 1.5 over the T-posts, and they're cheaper, so I was like, oh, I'll just get the 1.5. And then now that I'm out here, I was like, okay, well, the T-posts are in the wrong spot, but I'm just gonna see if I can fit this over, and they weren't fitting. Like, I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, to go back and get the 2-inch PVC pipes. On top of that, I took today off work. I tried to take tomorrow off work, but I just checked and nobody picked up my shift, which means I still have to go to work tomorrow from 3 to 10 or 11 p.m. Jai doesn't get off work until 5, so basically we can't work on this tomorrow. It's also frustrating because I was going to leave on a week-long work trip tomorrow. I can't finish this cover without Jai's help because he has the heat gun and the generator for the heat gun to get the PVC to bend. Otherwise, they're just straight poles. And he has his regular job and then has also been doing a bunch of renovations to his shop so that he can fix his truck, which is like very urgent for him. So even though I asked him to help me with this project a while ago, it's not like a priority for him, which I completely understand because he's like in his own crisis with his truck. And yeah, so it's like if I don't do my trip or I only go for a couple days and I stay here, he still might not be available to help me with that. And then I would both lose out on the money of the trip and wouldn't have the problem fixed. So part of me is just thinking currently that the plan is going to be tomorrow to close up the yurt as best as I can the way I did last time, which is not perfect, but didn't, flood the inside of the yurt. It just got the whole door area, wet. Ugh. This is a mess of the yurt cover project I was trying to do. I got this PVC pipe stuck on here somehow. Super awesome. Really smart things happening here. Crying inside. Do I want to shell out another $200? No, absolutely not. This has to stay outside for the next 6 months. Seems like today is the day a bunch of stuff is gonna get done for the yurt cover. I forgot my regular camera that I vlog with at my grandma's house. So it's gonna be phone footage for this guy.
Series, and they turn into noodles.
Ooh. This is measured out 8 feet, which is how far we're trying to cover. We're heating up the PVC, then we're gonna use that to bend it into a curve. And then we have shorter straight pieces for the ends that will connect up to the posts. I did buy that $200 awning thing, which I won't need to use anymore, but this is actually good because I can use it to cover up my dishwashing area that I'm going to leave as like the only part of my outdoor kitchen that's not moving over to the cabin, because I can wash dishes in the cabin. And I am going to be occasionally, you know, heating up soup and eating stuff in the yurt, so it'll be good to be able to wash my own dishes just like with cold water, you know, at that location as well. So it's all working out for the best. Really happy to have Jai's help. Yeah, it looks pretty even to me. Okay. I guess it's like a little bit, but I don't know if it matters. Thank you very much. Shush him.
Oh, this is gonna be so much better.
Yay! You're looking so magical, buddy. You're looking so cute at the entrance to the yurt. Oh, your ears are so warm and soft. This makes me feel like I have an outdoor area where I can be warm, because right now the door's open. Which I would have it open anyway because it gets really hot in there with the wood stove going. But it's like, it's warm, it's dry. I'm just a couple steps from my house, but it's like great to be able to sit out here and look at the stars, look at the moon. Even if it's raining, that's an option. Yeah, it's just really nice. I feel like since my yurt is only 285 square feet, adding this 8.5 by 6-ish little section is adding like, I don't know, I can't do math that quickly, but it's adding like 64 feet maybe? Oh my gosh, I'm horrible. I'm horrible at math. It's like actually really sad that I don't know what 8 times 6 is off the top of my head. Hold on. Oh, wait. Is it 48? No. 52. 52? Oh my god. I actually got to pre-calculus, but that was where I got the only C I ever got in a class, and I decided that was enough math for me. But yeah, I'm really happy that most of the, what's it called, placements that I made for the posts of this stayed, all of them except for that one. And even though Dry did most of the work, it does feel good to, have helped the whole time and also to have done some of the foundation stuff by myself. But yeah, I really feel like I'm in a little igloo. And also, I really like this because the front door is really short. Like, I think it might be like, I don't know, I should measure it, but I'm probably not going to measure it before this comes out. It's, I'm 5'10" ish, and I have to bend over to get out of it. So let's say it's a 5-foot door. It's a 5-foot door, but then immediately the steps go down, and this roof is only slightly lower here than it is at the top. So it basically gets more and more headspace as you're getting out away from it, which weirdly like makes it the original entrance feel both like more secure and more cozy. Yeah, and now I have a whole new setting for chatting with you. I can hang out with some candles here. I don't know how well you can see me though. So I'm gonna go back inside. I'm making hot cocoa for the first time in there. I've made a lot of tea in there, but this is my first time making hot cocoa. It's a little treat. Oh, this is so beautiful. This makes me so happy. Ah, living my best life. I put new batteries in my main lamp, and it reminded me that it's basically only been at like half brightness recently. So this is like how bright the yurt is at night right now. I don't need it to be this bright. I could turn that lamp off and just do candles, but kind of cool to see. Cozy mornings being outside but being covered. I moved my coffee stuff back to the yurt because I realized that it makes sense for me to have my food at the abandoned cabin where my kitchen's going to be, but I want coffee as soon as I wake up. Having to walk all the way to the cabin means I have to get dressed, I have to walk over there. It's not, it basically just delays me getting caffeinated, which delays my day starting because I'll end up laying in bed with no caffeine in my system for like an hour, just like getting up the energy to go over to the cabin to make coffee. So coffee's back here. Eventually I'll have a coffee set up for both places because coffee is life. So that makes sense. I just want to really quickly break down what's going on here. So yeah, we've got the front door, and to the left I stacked a bunch of wood that I, for the most part, cut to be the size that I like, which is like still a little bit of a log, won't just burn up immediately, but fairly small. The really big pieces will burn if the fire's going really hot, but it's nice to be able to put a couple pieces in at a time. And also when I'm starting fires, the really big pieces aren't helpful. And yeah, now I can just like jump out and grab whatever size piece I want instead of having to go all the way to the wood pile or to like bring the wood in the yurt, which has been making a big mess. So I'm really excited about that. Over on this side, I have my maul and my regular axe and my chopping block. I can pull it out if I need to do some like serious chopping, like I need to re-up on my chopped wood stash. But if I just want to like cut some wood smaller, cut it into kindling, there's that. And then also it's staying nice and dry under here, which is great. I have my little trash can kind of hidden away back here, which I like that it's not like super prominent, but it's still really easy for me to step out and throw something away. I have a small trash, well, it's not even a can. I have a small trash container inside, but I try to only put dry trash in it, meaning like nothing that Romeo or mice would want to eat. So if there's any kind of like food item, it goes into the outdoor trash, and that's just like where all the trash goes eventually. So it's really nice to have that just like accessible right outside the yurt. It used to be in the outdoor kitchen. The outdoor kitchen's getting taken down. So yeah, this is kind of like becoming a mini version of everything that I need over here. On this side of the entrance, we have this really beautiful bear statue that my Nana bought from an Alaskan artist and then passed down to me. I like to call my yurt dome the bear cave because it's extremely cozy and, you know, enveloping and dark like a bear cave, and I identify a lot with like the energy of bears. So having this little granite bear by the entrance is great, and it can get wet, which is awesome. So that's like sitting just outside. So yeah, that's pretty much this little area. And then I have my big toolbox that I keep my tools in, which I moved to be kind of closer to the entrance too. So it's just like everything is very accessible, which is great. We love accessibility and convenience. The front steps here are still a little bit wet just because they absorbed so much water from being out in the rain for so long. Like they're not getting more wet, they're slowly drying out under here. But they are like a little bit damp, but I've been able to sit on them without getting wet, especially if I have a little layer underneath, which is really nice. But I can't even tell you how excited I am about this, especially because my yurt is so small already. Having just like more covered space is amazing. I feel so much more cozy and prepared for winter. I also really like the way that it looks. My yurt is not the most aesthetic because it has a very utilitarian kind of like mildewed cotton canvas cover on it. I'm trying to order one of the decorative covers. It originally had a decorative cover, but then it got too messed up over the years. It had to be taken off. But I can buy another one from the company that makes them. So that'll be fun. But in the meantime, in terms of like being a utilitarian structure, I think that this like entrance really adds to the vibes. I love like kind of the shape that it adds. And I kind of like too that the sides are a little bit open because it allows there to be a good amount of light in here, and it sort of keeps it from feeling, I don't know, like if there's some kind of animal like over there or over there, Romeo can see it, I can see it. It just makes me feel like both protected and like I have good access to seeing my surroundings, which makes me feel very safe. I'm just a huge huge fan overall. It makes me a little bit sad that when I move the yurt, I'll need to take this down. Although who knows, we're thinking about building a dance gazebo here when I move the yurt, and maybe we can even keep the cover and have it be the entrance to the dance gazebo. Who knows? Who knows what the future will hold, but for this winter, I feel so much more cozy and safe having this here. And I think that Romeo agrees, right? Do you agree? Do you agree, buddy? Do you agree? He's like, when are we going to start the day? Just been sitting in here forever. I'll have to show you the view from my perspective because it's just beautiful. It's really beautiful. This is my view from inside the cover, sitting on the porch. So beautiful. I especially love looking out into the misty trees over here. Oh my goodness, why are you so cute, buddy? You're everybody's favorite character. Everyone's favorite character. Should I be paying you? Do you deserve more kibble? Should you get an extra kibble payout from the YouTubes? Being able to take off my muddy shoes outside and leave them outside and not bring them into the yurt is huge for keeping everything clean. Being able to have my wood out here and not having to keep it all stored inside is also huge for keeping everything clean. Being able to have my axes dry and nearby is huge as well. I just feel like this solves so many of my problems. And it's funny because quite a few people, and I know that this is just meant, you know, entirely in a positive way, but it's quite a few people have been like, I can't wait for you to finish the cabin so you can sleep in the cabin. I don't intend to sleep in the cabin. I'm sure that there will be nights where I end up sleeping there, like I have a really nice fire going and I'm tired, or I have friends over, but I love sleeping in the yurt. Like, the yurt is been so healing for me. It feels like a big hug. I get the best sleep of my life in there. I absolutely love sleeping in the yurt. And as I mentioned in some of my other videos, eventually I'm going to move the yurt next to the abandoned cabin, and then the yurt will be just my bedroom, and then the cabin will be my art studio, my kitchen, and a space for people who come to visit to stay in. Yeah, it's been hard with like the flooding issue and not having the yurt steps covered, but there's never been any part of me that's been like, oh, the yurt is just temporary, I'm gonna go live in the cabin. Especially because since the yurt is made out of all natural fibers, it's like sheep's wool, it's cotton, it's camel hair and horse hair and tamarack. It needs to be heated pretty much daily throughout the winter in order to keep it from getting mildewed. It's like a breathable building, which I love as someone with eczema, as someone with a dust allergy, as someone with a very sensitive body. Being in a breathable building is very good for me, and I've had less struggle with my eczema, significantly less, since moving in here. But yeah, it needs to be heated up pretty much every day in order to keep it from getting too damp in there. And if I were to start sleeping in the cabin, then I would basically be giving up the yurt to damp and mildew, which, wow, he's so cute, which would make me super, super sad, especially because, you know, I paid in total with like getting the platform built and everything, I paid $6,000 for the yurt. So there's no way that I'm just going to let it like be consumed by the forest. Like, if I decided intentionally that I didn't want to use the yurt anymore, I would try to see if I could find someone else in the community that wanted to live in it. And barring that, I would give it away. I don't think I would try to sell it at this point, even though I have invested a lot of money into it, because it has so much damage and like things about it that are messed up. It still has a lot of value. It has a lot of value to me. It has a lot of value as a home. But yeah, this, you know, the whole, as soon as I bought it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to live in the yurt forever, but I absolutely love it, and I will make sure that I see it being used if I ever decide to stop using it. I'm just so excited about this entrance, and it's been, as you've seen, such a process to get it set up, and such a roller coaster of being like, am I gonna have to do this myself, or is Dry helping me? Am I doing this myself, or is Dry helping me? And I'm so glad that I got his help in the end, because he's like a savant at building things, and especially at like building things out of recycled or low-cost materials. I think that this is a good place to end it. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me and my son Romeo. I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't turn the notification bell on. I'm always like, what masochistic urge would lead anyone to do that? I don't have notifications on for anything. Sometimes I have them on for text, but not even that. I'm like, I check my phone enough. I will find anything that I actually need to see when I open my phone. Don't have Instagram notifications on, don't have YouTube notifications on, I don't have mail notifications on, I don't have text notifications on. Why would I do that to myself? Why would I let my phone decide when I'm gonna open it when I already open it too much? So don't turn notifications on. If you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon. I could also provide some like direct payment links. That'd probably be a good idea. I can always use more money to help speed these projects up and get more of them going. But you can also support me by commenting. If you don't know what to comment, you can always compliment my son. He takes compliments very well. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye!